There's a quiet, powerful story behind the flour on your shelf, one that speaks to a time when nutrition science and public health came together to correct a problem caused by industrial food processing. It starts with something that seemed like progress: the refining of grains. For much of the 20th century, advances in food manufacturing allowed us to produce softer, whiter, longer-lasting flour by removing the bran and germ from wheat. These refined flours quickly became the base of breads, pastas, pastries, and countless everyday foods. But there was an unintended consequence. Along with the fiber and healthy fats that were stripped away, a host of critical nutrients, especially B vitamins, were also lost. The result was an increase in nutrient deficiencies among populations who depended heavily on refined grains for their daily calories. As nutrition researchers began to piece together the connections between diet and disease, it became increasingly clear that several mysterious and debilitating conditions, like beriberi and pellagra, weren't just random illnesses. They were directly caused by a lack of specific B vitamins. Beriberi, for instance, results from a thiamine, vitamin B1, deficiency, while pellagra stems from a shortage of niacin, vitamin B3. Both conditions affected large numbers of people in the early 1900s, particularly in communities where white rice and white flour were dietary staples. These diseases could lead to symptoms ranging from weakness and neurological impairment to, in the most serious cases, death. What changed the course of this story was a bold decision made by public health officials and governments around the world. They introduced mandatory enrichment policies. Beginning in the 1940s in the United States and later in many other countries, flour manufacturers were required to add back certain key nutrients to refined grain products. These included thiamine B1, riboflavin B2, niacin B3, and iron. Later on, folic acid, a synthetic form of folate, or vitamin B9, was added to prevent neural tube defects in newborns. This policy shift was a profound success in modern nutrition. In a matter of years, the prevalence of deficiency-related diseases plummeted, not because people changed what they ate, but because the food system itself became more intelligent and responsive. The reasoning behind enriched flour is remarkably simple and profoundly effective. Since refined flour is such a common part of the modern diet, enriching it ensures that even people who eat fewer whole foods can still receive a basic level of essential nutrients. It's an elegant solution to a complex problem: make the most widely consumed foods also vehicles for public health. And while enrichment doesn't make white flour nutritionally equivalent to whole wheat flour, it still lacks the full fiber, antioxidant, and phytonutrient profile of a whole grain. It does prevent the most serious consequences of nutrient depletion. From a nutritional standpoint, the addition of B vitamins to enriched flour restores some of the most important metabolic tools our bodies rely on to turn food into energy. Thiamine helps initiate carbohydrate breakdown and supports nerve function. Riboflavin plays a key role in energy production and the maintenance of healthy skin and eyes. Niacin is essential for cellular energy and DNA repair. And folic acid has been proven to drastically reduce the risk of birth defects when consumed adequately before and during pregnancy. These vitamins are involved in dozens of biochemical pathways, and by putting them back into flour, we help ensure that even the simplest foods can contribute to a more balanced and energized body. There's also a deeper message in all of this, one that speaks to the power of nutrition policy. Fortification and enrichment programs show that small, science-based interventions can yield massive benefits when applied consistently across the food system. This isn't about miracle pills or drastic lifestyle overhauls. It's about restoring balance to everyday food, making basic nutrition more equitable and accessible. Millions of people benefit from these measures without ever realizing it. Every slice of white bread, every bowl of cereal made with enriched flour, carries with it the legacy of decades of public health work to protect and strengthen the population through better nutrition. That said, while enrichment is an incredibly important safety net, it's also not the final word on nourishment. Whole foods, especially whole grains, still provide the fullest range of nutrients, including many that aren't added back into refined flour. The best approach is to embrace a combination of both. Enriched flour can be part of a balanced diet, particularly when it helps prevent deficiencies in vulnerable populations. But when whole grains, legumes, vegetables, and fruits form the foundation of your meals, You're giving your body not just the basics, but the full spectrum of nourishment it craves. In the end, enriched flour is more than a technical adjustment. It's a quiet but powerful gesture of public care. It reflects a recognition that nutrition matters, that science can serve society, and that even the most ordinary foods can be made more meaningful with just a few thoughtful changes. It's a story of how knowledge, policy, and compassion can come together in something as humble and familiar as a bag of flour, and how that flour, enriched with B vitamins, continues to help power millions of lives every single day.